Hey everyone, this is Dan, the GM, bringing you episode 99 of What the Dice. We had a little problem with some audio in this recording. Afterwards, we lost some weird spots here and there, and I did the best I could to fix it. So there's a couple of times I jump in to keep the story a-flowing. So, other than that, don't forget, if you follow us on any social media, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, you might get your own shout out. And if you want to join our Discord, whatthedice.weebly.com. Speaking of shoutouts, DT, I know you follow us. I know you're on our Discord, and I know you listen. And I, and everyone else, super appreciates it. That's all I got. Sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 99 of What the Dice. Looking down the coastline, we watch as the ocean slowly creeps away. Low tide is here. The pier is standing taller than we normally see it. To our back, we can feel the warmth of the fire. The storyteller sits idly flipping through the pages until we slowly turn and sit down. He gives us a small smile and looks out towards the ocean. Well, it seems as if our adventurers have begun getting permissions to head into the lower sections, all in search of Defibulus's treasured item, as well as searching for this strange pearl or crystal of wind. Well, I don't need to tell you, but once underground, many things can happen. Well, me friends, sit back, relax, and hear me tale. In the last episode, I'm getting a little quirky on this one. I'm gonna roll with it.
Episode.
In the last episode of What the Dice.
Please stop.
You guys had a chance to poke around, discuss things with a dwarf that isn't really all there. Faye gives him a little whisper of, go do this, and he does. And through the process of that, you met a mechanic dwarf that helped you guys use a small, strange rope camera and fish down this long pipe to see Defibulus's name on a small package that is sitting on top a pile of gold nuggets and uncut gems. Finding out you needed to get permission to go down into the old mining section, you found a strange dwarf named Cletus, who reveled you with tales of how Godspell was found, as well as handing you a permission slip, giving you permission to enter into the old caves. We pick up with you guys standing outside of Cletus's door as it shuts.
Permission slip. Thank you, Daddy.
Yep, I thought the same thing going, well, I feel like a child.
Well, compared to how old he is, you guys would be classified as young children to him.
Back in my day,
We had to fight spiders uphill down a dark hole.
in the snow both ways.
Bare feet?
Well, if you had a bear and you got his feet, you could wear them, but back then bear's feet were 2 dimes. That was a lot of money back then.
And to go out and kill it yourself, oh well, had to buy special
What?
equipment for it.
The entire episode just derails into old people talk the rest of the time.
It just did.
I ain't stopping it.
Okay. Okay. Upon the first, handful of steps outside of this dwarf's door, Kalila's gonna quietly look at Faye and be like, how did you get that guy to finally lead us somewhere?
I thought he was nice.
Yeah, but he just was voluntarily continuing to work when he knew we needed answers. Wasn't quite all there, though.
Definitely not all there. And I am kind of confused on how you convinced him.
Yeah, do tell.
I just told him to remember.
Did you not see the zombie look in his eyes?
No, I saw it. I don't know where it came from.
Did you melt his brains?
Or possess him temporarily?
No, neither, I assure you.
Alright. And apparently she can heal metal.
Yeah, how did you heal the metal? Hmm?
I don't know, I was just kind of looking at it because it looked kind of pretty, and I remember thinking that I felt really bad that it was broken and that I wished I could fix it. And then it was fixed.
It's like wishing upon a star, now permission slips. Where are we going?
I mean, you're just now questioning where we're going?
Well, no, I mean, who are we looking for to give the permission slip to?
Someone in charge.
Where's that at?
I believe he said the mayor?
Mayor Marigold?
Yeah, Marigold goes by Mare. Pretty flower. Alright, shall we just ask a guard again?
Probably. Let's get back out into the main area where one might patrol.
To the big hallway.
As you guys make your way into the big hallway, you see children are playing, passing balls back and forth. Some are playing with remnants of small hay dolls, or maybe hay dolls. I'm not sure what else you would make a hay doll out of. Some are playing cards. Others are playing jacks. It looks like you might have wandered out during either before dinner for the kids or after school.
Recess, got it.
A couple of them stare as you walk by, just in awe of seeing something other than a dwarf.
Which Kalila will playfully interact with every now and then. If they're like wide-eyed or scared, do they like scary paws up with a rah, but not actually doing anything like past that.
As you do that to one of them, he goes, "I'm a guard," and swings a small stick at you that when it hits, just breaks, because it's wood rot.
It's Kalila, and she's also, mind you, just barely 18, is going to then pretend to crumble and be like, ah, like he shattered his sword on her and like fall on the ground.
The young dwarf cheers. He goes, "I defeated the monster," and pounces off.
Ah, you're a monster.
It's better than people trying to buy me if she gets up and dusts herself off.
Made that kid's day for sure.
Yeah. Now she's gonna look for a guard.
At the end of the hallway, just before the stairwell, you see a guard leaning against the wall. In his mouth, a strange white piece of paper, and he is exhaling a thick cloud of smoke. He looks over at you and breaks the little red light red flame that's on the front and slips it into a pocket. "How can I help y'all?"
We need to go and see a guy named Mare.
The mayor? Yeah, he's on the purchasing floor. He owns one of the tapestry places. His wife and daughter make all sorts of fancy tapestries, and he runs out there.
Thanks.
Hi.
Actually, go back upstairs.
As you get upstairs, the merchant deck is busier than it usually is, as most people are either finishing their shifts on the mines or what have you, their jobs. You see a dwarf that is dressed to the nines in purples and greens. His beard is adorned with all sorts of stones and metals. His hair is slicked back and tied back in a braid as he is talking to a couple of people and shaking hands and all that.
Before anything happens, spotting this man, Kalila is going to go, "Hey, Defibulus, I think I finally found something louder than your gun.
Yeah, what?
That man.
I can see it, but I think the last thing that was louder than my gun was that building, that brick building that we blew up.
It was louder than your brother's cannon,
That's for certain.
but I think that's Mare. The Mare. The Mare named Marigold. Oh, that's terrible.
Wonder what gives you that idea that could be the guy. I wonder.
I think the other dwarf said something about him being dressed to the nines, and he has gemstones in his beard, so I'm gonna take a guess.
Bold. Well, Division's like, well, go introduce us.
Is it my turn?
Yep, it's your turn. You threw me under the bus last time.
Damn it. She just walks forward.
I thought it was Faye's turn.
Oh, yes, perfect. The gods. Wait, who said that? Looks at Faye. Your
Okay.
turn, and you have the note.
Oh, so I do. Can I give it to one of you?
Nope.
My hands are full as she suddenly grabs things.
All right, so Faye will approach the dwarf and wait for him to finish speaking with whoever politely, and then introduce herself and her companions.
As you approach him, he looks over the other person's shoulder and stops the conversation quickly, and he goes, I'll talk to you right back. Now, if this ain't the fancy dwellers that came from the Murdoch, how are you this fine eve? Now, don't tell me, you need a place to stay for the night and do your strange biddings that you've got going on. So I hear you've been looking for something. Now, how about you tell the mayor what y'all been looking for?
Just so you know, though nothing is said, Kalila's ears are as tall as they could be, her eyes as wide as they could be, pupils narrowed with this what the hell look on her face. Tail perfectly still. There might be an eye twitch.
Ah, yes, the local dandy. All right.
Just when you thought you found somebody that no one could be worse than Sir Reginald. Does his hair move? There's
Has
no
his
wind
hair
in here.
moved?
Okay.
Well, he's very expressionist, so he is moving around. He is like hands out, like he is talking with his hands like a good Southerner should.
All right, Mr. Mayor, we are here in search of something. We're looking for a particular artifact. We are also looking for a package that was misdirected that belongs to Defibulus. We found our package. It happens to be down in one of the abandoned iron mines. We've already spoken with Cletus, and he's given us permission. We need clearance to get down there to get to it. We also have a little bit of a lead that the other item we're looking for may also be down in the mines.
Now, I tell you what, if you all need to just mosey on down to the caves, I'm pretty sure we can be assistant to that. But now, see, in order for me to let you down in the caves, I need to make sure you aren't gonna do nothing to harm my beautiful city. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. Now, see, I've been having a little bit of problem with these strange little dire rats popping up all over the place. Now, I know I've seen you scare off a few of them, and I hear tell you good with them, but now, see, I know you're also smart because I heard about the strange little mishap that happened on the Murdoch. Now, God bless that. God's blessed that elven captain, but he just was not the right kind of person that'd be piling that. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. Now, see, in order for me to let you down in the caves, I need you to do me a favor and figure out how these dire rats keep getting into my city. You know, I want to bring more tourists up here, but, you know, with these dire rats, I can't just have that around now. That wouldn't look good now, would it?
Okay,
Yeah, I can take care of the dire rats.
Now, see, that's what I talk about. I knew you city folks aren't just city folks. You got that look of you've been out in the wilds, like someone who knows their way around the bushes. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. I see that look in your eye. You a natural-born hunter. My pappy, he used to hunt all the time. But mind you, he was hunting for women more than animals. You know what I mean? My pappy, bless his soul, he did like the women folk.
well, if you are anything like him, I can see why they would have liked him too.
Oh, now ain't that sweet. Now I'm married, young woman, but if you're really that type, I do have a couple of friends that are just divine that could always use some women company. They're single down and they don't play around now. They're always looking for a little bit of fun on the side, if that's your thing, but most of us don't like the things on the side. They want to look for that long-term, make things last like the steel that surrounds us. He hits the metal wall next to him. Know what I mean? I know you know what I mean.
I certainly do, but there's nothing wrong with some fun in the meantime. So, what can we do about these dire rats, Delilah?
I just need to know the main areas they're coming in from and probably go and investigate where their nests are in the caves that we need to get to. They probably don't have nests here around the houses. They're going to be in another level.
Now, we always find them poking up from the walls that we've had to replace over time. Now, this metal is beautiful and strong, but it seems as if when the gods planted, the gods fell there. They missed a couple spots, and the gods know what they's doing, and we stuffed it with brick the best we could. But you need these dire rats. They can chew themselves through stone if they need to. I've seen it. Vicious little buggers, ain't they? But I'm sure you know all what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. So, we believe they're in our third floor down, not this floor, not the upper decks, but the underneath the living quarters. You know what I mean? I know what you know what I mean. Now, I do hope they set you up with someplace nice to stay, not one of the hostels, did they? Those hostels are nice, but they're basically just converted storage rooms. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean.
Boy, he's a lot to keep up with. Hang on.
You don't see the face, like, it's that whole, like, wide-eyed, like, all right, hold on, I need a moment to process this.
I'm not entirely sure how to answer the sleeping quarters question, but...
No, we're in the hostel. That's how you answer it.
Oof, I don't want to insult nobody.
Yeah, that's why Kalilah's the face straight. So she literally popped out around from Faye going, yeah, no, they put us in the hostel, and then popped back behind her.
Oh, now that ain't... Well, I guess we didn't know how prestigious you city folk are. Now, we do have a couple of empty homes down below that, someone got married and gave up their old home. They're still in good shape. Now, don't get me wrong. We make sure they're nice and clean and secure. We'll patch up all the holes to make sure dire rats don't get in or anything. I think we got one that's got a couple beds in it. You're more than welcome to have it while you're staying here, because we want you to feel like you're just at home. Now, this isn't a permanent thing, mind you. You ain't being part of the city. We ain't making you citizens. But we want to offer you something more comfortable than just a storage room with a bunk on it. Know what I mean? I know you know what I mean.
I mean, as long as nobody's feelings will be hurt about it.
Not at all. We kind of rush that up there because every time the Murdoch come to visit and they tell us they're bringing the captain back, we give him what we call the luxury elven treatment and put him in a storage room. I never did like that man. He didn't seem like he was all there. Seemed like he was thinking with his pockets and his pants more than his head. Know what I mean? I know you know what I mean.
Based on his personal letters, he was thinking with what's in his pants, not with his pants. Yes, I do know what you mean.
Probably with his pants would have made him smarter.
The dwarf gives a chuckle and he's like, so, I can get you that, the key to that house in a couple of minutes. I'll send down one of my men to make sure it's all prepped up and ready. You guys aren't allergic to anything, oh yeah? I want to make sure that our first guests and tourists are happy where they're staying. Now, it ain't gonna be as luxurious as the Murdoch, mind you. I mean, those tickets were rather pricey. And by here, you're coming from the Holy City. Am I hearing right? Is that where your tickets are from?
Yes, that's right.
I'm pretty sure the priestess herself got you them tickets, because that's about how much we were charging at that point, because of everyone putting in bids. I am glad that I hear say that it's not being sold, that it is more being financially bad. You know what I mean? I know what you know what I mean. How is the priestess these days? I have not heard much from the Holy City.
Kalila and Defibulus can probably answer that better than I can.
She's doing just fine.
Yeah, last we heard, she was doing pretty good.
That's good to hear. That. Now, I remember getting that chance to go down to Holy City for that inauguration thing, and it was a beautiful city. And don't mind me, I'm not big on having a big old flaming ball hovering over my head. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. I like the security.
of living inside Gosfell. No one can get you up here. Now, dire rats can be a little bit of a pain, but they ain't that bad.
Did I hear him right that he said that he was at where?
He went to the basically the crowning of the priestess.
Oh, okay, cool. I for some reason I thought you were saying he was in Narrow Cloud when the priestess was blessing that temple, and I was like,
No, he.
Oh, no, yeah, okay.
So it would have been years ago that he
Okay.
saw the holy city.
Gotcha.
You know what he means?
Yeah, you know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. He goes, now, it's just about supper time, and I know I'm rather famous. Now, I don't know about how you all are, but I do like myself 3 meals a day and a nice snack in the afternoon. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. How about you head on down to the slop house, and we'll have lunch or dinner, supper together. We'll have a supper together, you, me, and my lovely family, and we'll get you all set up for the night. How's that sound?
Delightful.
Kalila just quietly nods.
The eyes had it.
He goes, all right. Well, I will meet you over at this. I will have one of the guides escort you there, and he'll also make sure that he gets you all the information that we have on where the dire rat's coming from. And, I know you know how to hunt them. I can see it in your eyes. You've just got that smartness about you. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. He gives you a nod and kind of a hat tip, and walks off talking to some other merchants. The guard standing there goes, so you need to know about how dire rats coming up?
Yeah, I'm going to be the one in charge getting rid of them.
Well, instead of just telling you, I can actually show you a lot of places they's coming up. I was smart, and I've been using some chalk to mark them out. Now,
That is smart.
yeah, my pa used to hunt, and he always told me, it's always good to know where they're coming from, so you can kind of at least figure out where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm no hunter, mind you. I've been a guard most of my life, but I learned a couple tricks from my pa, and this was one of them.
Oh, good.
He begins to walk you around Godsfell, and it seems like wherever they have trash buildup, like basically outside of merchants that sell food or might have like scraps of food, you can see that there are areas where the wall has been chewed or cut away, like clawed away, and there have been bricks or some kind of mortar that's been put in place, and just above it is a little white X with some chalk. He goes, now, I didn't make it too obvious, just so it was more in case someone didn't mess with it. So, if you see an X like this, and it's white, that's where I've seen them coming. And if it's red, that's where I see them, like, going. You know what I mean? They don't always use the same hole coming and going. Sometimes they use the red X's to disappear to somewhere else.
Thanks.
Now, there's one rat in particular. He's a big one. Like, some of them are, kind of small. The smaller rats, that dire rat size. And this guy, he's a big one. He's all white. He's got beady red eyes, and he seems to be like their leader. He's smart too. I laid out traps. Like, I even put like poison in their food, and he sniffs it, and then he just shoves it away and finds food other places. I've tried to shoot at him too a couple times, and he's dodged it. Have you ever seen a rat dodge a bullet? It's nuts. It just kind of hopped up over it and just snickered his nose at me and ran down the hole.
Rat is a pretty smart dire rat.
Right? Now, I see him on this floor and on the floor below. Now, it seems as if like most animals would, they appear where there'll be a lot of food and trash. And they seem to favor the rat, the lizard meat, the unspiced lizard meat, mind you. I've been trying to think if maybe I could get some to bait with, but everyone keeps soaking it up in spicy bits, and I know that I like it spicy, but these rats don't like it spicy, and it's hard to find good bait.
I know I don't have any on me. I don't think I do. She goes, well, while I'm hunting them down, if I find any good meat while I'm down there, rats enjoy just about any meat, I'll bring you some.
Well, no, I can get plenty of meat. I'm just saying these rats don't like the spicy meat, and all the restaurants here cook the spicy meat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. While I'm down in the tunnels, if we kill other things, I won't spice the meat. I'll just bring you the meat.
Ah, to help the trap. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get you. It took me a second.
No, it's okay. I understand. It's all right. Let's go down on the lower levels. If they're coming up here, they know that they get food and then they're taking them down to their nest.
Yeah, now, I did a pretty thorough search on the second floor where everyone sleeps, and I can't find where they're nesting. I'll take you down and show you what I found, but...
Oh no, third floor. There's not enough
Oh.
food for them to care about the where everybody sleeps. They know all the food's here, so we want to go down another level. I'm assuming that this is correct, because she does have a pretty high nature.
Yeah, no, you're good.
To say the only thing that would counter that is the mayor saying that some of the rooms did have issues with rats occasionally.
Yeah, they're coming up there and then going, oh, maybe I can nest a little closer to the food. We can check the second floor out. There might be a hidden nest, but I have a better suspicion they're on the third floor.
Could they be within the walls?
Yeah, these walls are also big enough they might be in the walls.
Walking you down to the third floor, you see an area that is marked out, and you see strange automatons standing in strange bays, and you see small sparks of electricity striking them. You see small little icons that are currently yellow and red. You see small little boxes that have feet. You see little spheres with what look like little rotor blades on the front that have little arms underneath. That area is highly guarded. You see both people in overalls with small tools and armed men pacing around. The guard walks you down the hallway to an area where it's marked out as a sign says storage. He goes, now, this is where I see them congregate sometimes. Like if it is really stormy out and the thunder booms are really loud upstairs, every now and then you can kind of hear them cowering down here in storage. Now, just a little bit down further is the greenhouse, the place where we store all our fresh food and grow it. And this is where I think there's at, but I can't get no proof. So they don't allow me to do a lot of searching, you know what I mean?
Why do they not allow you to come down here and look? You're a guard.
Yeah, but my job is to guard, not to
Oh.
kill rats.
Well, I'll do the hunting for you.
Yeah, well, this is where I think there's going to be the most logically congregating.
Just thanks.
And I'm pretty sure the mayor's going to want you to have dinner with him before you deal with the vermin.
Fair enough. We'll go do dinner first, I guess.
He goes, his small box chirps off a sound. You hear something in Dwarven that you don't recognize. He goes, oh, and it sounds like they got your room ready if you want to see that first, so you can freshen up and to change to something for dinner.
She'll nod. That sounds nice.
On the second floor, they walk you to this room, and it is a fairly simple room. You can tell that it was lived in. The walls are freshly cleaned. It has that smell of fresh incense. There are fresh linens laid out on the two beds, and then there's a couch that has some linens laid out with a pillow on it. He goes, now, ain't much, but it's comfortable. There's a little kitchen area for y'all to cook in if you deem it so. And the door locks from the inside as well, so it's you can have privacy if you want it. And everyone here is really good about knocking before they enter, so you'll never be barged in on.
Sounds nice, thank you.
He goes, now, If you need anything, all the guards, we got what we call talkie boxes.
We need those.
It would be handy.
I can see how they would also be a detriment.
Yeah, the last thing you need is somebody talking into that when you're sneaking up on them.
We do have an option to have this thing that we could put on our ear, but it gets real uncomfortable. It's like, I don't know. It's weird. Like it's got a little grate on it, and it sticks in your ear, and then you got this little wire thing that hooks to it. It's just not comfortable. But no one can hear your talkie box go off.
Well, that's good to know.
So yeah, this is your place for while you stay. I guess the mayor's wanting you to spend some of your money, because you being on the Murdoch and all that, and being investigators. How'd you figure out who it was anyway? I would have never rightly thought it was an elf. I thought elves ain't possible in murder.
Everybody's possible of murder.
Yeah, well,
Just gotta take the right combination. Some people have a harder code to crack.
I do hope that you don't have any of that kind of problem here. I mean, we all kind of look out for ourselves up here, and I could never imagine someone from our home trying to kill someone else from our home. Now, we get arguments and fights, but, a couple beers, couple hits, and you deal with it that way.
As civilized people should.
Yeah, I like that method.
Well, his walkie goes off, and he goes, man, well, I gotta get back to work. Y'all have a pleasant stay. If you need anything, let us know.
Thanks.
Thank you.
He walks out, shutting the door behind him. The room is quiet. You see on the upper part of the wall a small box with a grate on it, with just underneath it a small little dial that you can turn. You see a small area where there's a little place to cook, a little place to prep food, the 2 beds, and then the couch, all in one single room. So it would be what we would view as a studio apartment.
All right. Hey, it's better than the storage cots.
It is. What would you all like to do?
Well, I guess we better go retrieve our stuff.
You guys never took it off. You left it on you.
I thought we left everything up in the hostel.
I remember you guys stick, because Ethan or Defibulus made the comment that all his stuff fits on him, and then Kalila said the same.
But I'll go back upstairs with you.
I think we need to return the key at least.
All right, so we'll play the quick switcheroo. Without much fuss, go up, grab our stuff. Here's the key. Thanks. Come back down.
Amphibious will tell you if they get upset, just tell them that the mayor said to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The Mer.
So you were able to grab your stuff and change out the keys without a problem. You do see the mayor has changed for dinner, and is, gathering up his daughter and his son and his wife, and they're talking to people as they are slowly making their way towards where they're going to meet you for food.
I guess we should start being on our way too. Last thing you want to do is offend
The Mer.
somebody at that level. The Mer. The mirror.
So are you guys going to dress anything different for dinner, or are you going as you were on the Murdoch?
I don't think Defibulus even really has anything fancy to wear.
Yeah, I don't think Kalila would have much of a different outfit other than armor on versus armor off.
Well, it seems rude to appear at dinner armored.
I guess that's true. Yeah, unless Faye says something, Kalila's probably not putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, Defibulus is just gonna wear what he has.
No, she'll say something.
Go on, say something.
I just did. It
Oh,
would
you
probably be rude to wear armor to dinner. So Faye's gonna pull on an extra blouse over everything and a skirt and at least look slightly nicer. Fix her hair up a little bit.
Defibulus kind of looks at himself. Meh.
Leaving the armor on?
I mean, yeah, every time I take my armor off, someone shoots at me.
Yeah, you do have a good point. And you're just wearing yours under your clothes. That's cheating.
What? How's that cheating?
No, she was looking at Faye.
Oh. Carry on.
I said it would be rude to appear at dinner in armor, not to actually go to dinner in armor, just to appear in armor.
Kalila just kind of looks down at herself like, I don't know if I care.
That's up to you.
I'm good.
So, up to dinner?
Yep.
All right. As you arrive at where they are serving dinner, the mayor, has a large round table. His daughter and wife to his right, his son to the left. The food that he is being served is definitely a lot different than what you were served at the bar. Everyone in this dining area has things like collard greens, you smell garlic, you smell rice cooking over vegetable juice with what looks like pieces of meat that have been soaked in some kind of red sauce. You see breads that are torn and ripped with what looks like maybe olive oil and something as a dipping sauce. You see steins of mead and what looks like some kind of tea, all laid out. As you approach, the mayor stands. He goes, "Well, if it ain't the lovely tourist, come have a seat, my friends. Now, I'm pretty sure you'll have your chance to have the tour around to figure out how you are going to deal with our little problem. Am I right? I know I'm right. But before business, we should always have pleasantries. Don't you agree?
Of course.
Have a seat, my friends. Have a seat. I see you adventuring types don't have a chance to have fancy dress, which I am not offended in the least. I understand how it is on the outside world. I've been there many a time, and adventurers don't have the coin to look fancy, shall we say. Not until they have survived long enough to retire, which many adventurers rarely ever have that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying.
It does have its troubles periodically, that's for sure.
I see why the mayor is such an insightful man.
Yeah, my pa taught it me very well. We got all sorts of books from the outside world, and I made sure I read them cover to cover. Now, let us talk about what you are looking for. I know that you are looking for some kind of artifact. Now, below the great and powerful God's Fell, there are many tunnels and many labyrinths that are both naturally occurring and are bored by strange and powerful beasts. What can you tell the mayor about what you are looking for?
Not much. And that's not because we're not allowed to or anything of the sort. It's because we don't have a lot of information over it.
Now, what kind of fool sends out adventurers on an errand without giving some kind of strange description or vaguity of it? I mean, if I was gonna send out someone to go find me a thing, I'm pretty sure they would come back with just a random piece of whatever they found on the road, be it living or dead.
Oh, trust me, we'll know it when we see it. We have on the last 3. One of those weird, bizarre things of it finds you.
You make it sound like what you're looking for is almost intelligent in its design. Something that can live and breathe on its own. Are you all bounty hunters?
No,
Or just adventurers?
just adventurers. I'm just a simple black cat from a little fishing town.
You'll find yourself a mighty far away from just being a simple village.
But honestly, we can't tell you much. It's called the Wind Pearl.
A wind pearl. What in the God's name is a wind pearl?
That's our same question.
A windy pearl? We don't know.
But
Wow.
we'll know it when we see it.
Why would a pearl be up in here in the mountains?
And-
Pearls are made by oysters? Oysters. You know, they suck up a little bit of trash and they're soaking it, and then, months later, spit out a pearl.
Well, I'm not the scholar that does all the research on this, so I'm just here to get it.
Are you sure he's a scholar and not a drunken man? Now, drunken men come up with all sorts of tall tales, and I've seen and heard many adventures being sent out by a drunken man for this, that, and the other.
We wouldn't be here if he was just a drunk man.
I wouldn't even call him that to his face.
Yeah, you would get hit by a book.
Or fish.
Yeah, you guys get hit, I don't.
We'll fix that for you, don't worry.
You will not.
And what kind of fool throws things at people? That is just not kosher at all. You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I'm saying. It's always rude. Why do people gotta be rude?
Well, you know.
It was an expression.
What, being hit by a fish in a book? How is that an expression?
You know how scholars can be.
Hmm.
Especially old ones.
Well, I'm pretty sure you've had a chance to tour Godsfell, and what do you think of our quaint little town?
It's more than a little town.
Yeah, it's the pearl on the mountain, the gem in our crown, the spice in our pepper.
And see, you just called it a pearl. Why in the world would you have a pearl up here?
Make the world jealous.
See? So we're looking for a pearl, I guess.
Like an actual pearl? Like, how big is this thing? Are we talking like, is it small or is it like a big pearl? Like,
Don't know. Your city's a mighty fine big pearl, but it's not really a pearl.
now it might be a little hard for you to take my city. I might have to let you see the business end of the bottom of the mountain.
Definitely. And we're not here for your city.
Well, I am not sure how I can help. I've not seen a pearl in these parts in quite a while. Last time we saw one, the Murdoch's captain used it to purchase with, and yeah, we saw how well that one ended.
You've already helped us by allowing us in your city and allowing us down into the mines.
Yeah, it's, you know, we were told we should be expecting our very first tourists, but I cannot for the life of me remember who told me to expect you. It was someone that used to live here, I think, or still lives here. He looks at his wife, who just gives a light shrug and is continuing to eat. I think it was, I don't remember who told us you were coming. I do remember that they were like, you know, give them a chance to get past the gate at least. We're like, well, we will make sure they are not shot on sight. And then next thing we know, we get a call from Murdoch saying that they are bringing 3 guests, an orc and a couple of his. And seeing none of y'all orc, I figured you'd his.
Pretty safe assumption there.
Now, why on earth was an orc on the Murdoch? Y'all know?
Ah, Baka. He made himself a fortune and is learning to be, as he says, a fancy man. And he bought a share of the Murdoch.
Most of the shares of the Murdoch, in fact.
An orc. Like the big green guys that hit things with other things.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Half orc.
Well, if he's good people, we will accept him.
He is good people.
Kind of an odd one to
He has
hear
a
that.
heart of gold.
Yeah, well, you know.
They do say don't judge a book by its cover.
And I'm not. My pa and ma taught me well. But it's just a weird. You know what I mean? I know you
It
know what I
is.
mean.
But if he ever does write you a nice fancy letter, you should at least read it and give him a chance.
I already gave him a chance. We are allowing him to enter the city here in the next couple of days. He said that he is not quite ready because he is not. What was the word he used? Not ready. He didn't have the proper threads, and I'm not sure what he meant by that. But when he is ready, he is always welcome to enter if he is now part of the owning fraction of the crew. Even though he did also send a strange job application. It was really weird. I've never heard of a job application in my life, but there's one on my desk.
Baka is precious. He's a little awkward, but he's trying. So, you know.
Well, you know.
If you hurt one hair on his head, I will kill you.
Does this quiet one, you seem to have a thing for this Baka. You got a little orc in your life now? Is that what I'm assuming?
No, I simply believe in second chances.
Ah, well, you know, if the gods didn't want us to have a second chance, you would die at the first arrow shot. Know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. Well, I do hope you are not too busy with your such as to do us the little favor and take with these dire rats. They have become troublesome, and it seems if for powerful adventures, it shouldn't take you too long.
How long do you think that'll take, Kalila?
A day, maybe 2.
Well,
Oh, easy.
Oh
Well.
yeah, we just gotta track down their nest.
well, if there's anything me and my gods can do, please let us know. I want to make sure that your stay here as pleasant as possible.
Will do.
And I do hope you have a chance to try our cuisine. It is not what most people have, and I have to say, between our original cooking and what we have learned from the lizard folk, we have gotten some interesting flavors. Though I would be careful not to drink our water. We're still learning how to purify it right.
Indeed.
I wonder if the rats are affecting the water.
If they're close to the water supply, they would be, yes.
Oh, well, we pipe up our water from the old swamp. So the green you see in it is our algae that we use. And we used to use it for healing properties. But unfortunately, piping it up seems to stir up the algae just a little much. And, it's the vengeance of the god for moving into Godsfell if you're not from the Godsfell.
Yeah, wrong kind of algae will clean you out for sure.
Alright? But if you ain't got the stomach for food, a cup of that water will clean you right up.
Good to know.
We'll keep that in mind.
A guard walks up, taps him on the shoulder, and he goes, well, I will go see to this right now. It seems our Baka friend has asked me to come join him for dinner on the Murdoch. So, I will bid you all adieu. I do hope you have a wonderful meal and lovely dreams.
Thank you. Enjoy your meal with Baka.
He tips his hat and leaves. His wife waits a moment, and as he leaves, she eventually gives you a bow and exits with her daughter. The son stares at you for a moment and leans in and goes, Nicodemus did send you all right.
Yes.
All right. Now, this wind pearl y'all looking for,
Yeah.
it's in the lowest part of the mines.
You've seen it?
Nah, I ain't seen it. I found this I don't know how to explain it. It's a box with moving pictures. Not like the strange moving rope or the bugs that give you vision. It's not attached to anything. And it's small. He looks around, reaches into his pocket, and pulls out a small, what would be about the size of a small box. It's very thin, kind of like something you would stack a bunch of papers in. We would know it as like a tablet computer. And there's a little red icon on the thing that's a plus sign or an arrow sign. He clicks on it, and you see a room, all silver, and you see some distortion, and then you see a pearl floating in midair, and then you hear the sounds of wind rushing and then static. He goes, I found this in my quarters one day, and it was hidden behind a strange wall piece that just came loose. And now, I wasn't supposed to, but I saw these dwarves poking around out on the decks one day on the far side, past the guard towers. They were wearing strange black armor. And when I approached one, someone snuck up from behind me, and they had me at knife point. I thought I was going to die. And they asked who I was, and I told them I was son of the mayor. And they're like, they work for, they're here on special business, and they're looking for something. And I told them I could help them if they let me live. And they kind of laughed it off, saying they weren't going to kill me anyway. And I heard one of them talking to someone over one of the talkie boxes that they had. And they mentioned the name Nicodemus. And I made the comment of, that there's strange happenings here. And there was a conversation between the man in the talkie box with the man named Nicodemus in the box. And Nicodemus asked me what I was talking about. And I told him I found this strange moving picture box. I told him what I saw. And he's like, let people know and don't let anyone know. And he's going to send someone to take a look. Someone that is skilled in dealing with this. I thought he had forgotten. It had been a couple months. And then I get a letter saying, they're going to send someone up to tell my pa to give you all a chance. Next thing I know, there's this dwarf. I ain't never seen before, but he sounded like us. He looked like us. He knew exactly how to be us. You know what I mean? And he and my pa just got along like butter on bread. Next thing I know, that he tells my pa, that there's people coming that we should trust them, and try getting tourists. Whatever a tourist is, I don't know. My pa seems to enjoy the idea. Something about money, bring it in. And then next day, he's gone. That dwarf just up and disappeared. And I asked around, and no one knew who I was talking about. I wasn't sure what I was talking about. Honestly, I thought it was a dream. I went and looked at his house, and that house was empty. It didn't even look like anyone had ever lived there. Like, it was cleaned out. But, you're here, so I guess I wasn't dreaming? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go out on Wild Branch and say, no, you weren't dreaming.
Faye's gonna look at them, look at her party members. We've been had.
You say that a lot. I'm starting to
It happens a lot.
agree, but if that what Desna wants me to do, that's what I do.
I was gonna say, I don't remember Nicodemus saying that there was any other teams out here, that none of them could get up here.
That is true. He said that none of them could get up there, and we were the first to ever go. So I'm wondering who these other people in these black suits were.
No, they're not allowed inside. They never came inside. You're the first ones.
Oh, they
Past
stayed
the
on
gate.
the outside.
Yeah,
the
now-
mountains.
Yeah, like if you went past where Doc was and past the big guns, there's a section that they were like trying to chip at the ice and the stone to try getting in, I guess.
To
I don't know.
probably climb down the rock.
I don't know. Like, there were no... You'd have to be up here to send down ropes. And some of the ice walls down there are slick. Like slick. Like, slick. Like, you can't get a handhold.
Whatever happened to them? Did they leave?
They got what they needed, and I saw them like run towards the edge, and then they jumped off, and then I just saw these big old, I don't know, like bags, I guess, just appear off their back, and they just floated down like a leaf at fall.
So they got something they wanted.
Information, I guess. Or a way in? I don't know, but I ain't seen no one like that since. I mean, it's been months. And then that strange fella appeared and got my ear on my paw, and then, a week or two later, y'all are here.
The strange man. Can you describe him again? The one that your paw likes?
He was a dwarf, like us, talked like us, ate like us, wore the same uniform as us. He said he was a miner, but, he didn't look like a miner. Like, he was always clean. Now, unless he was like a miner that worked in the upper part of the mines that did all the processing and, chiseling the stone, that's one thing. But for the life of me, I don't think I ever met him before. But his beard was long and black, and it had the green that like all of us have. But yeah, he never drank the water, which kind of seemed odd to me, because I mean, I drink the water, but I live here.
You're used to it.
And yeah, just one day he's just gone. He was a little stockier than most of us, like, built like stronger. I mean, he could have been a miner beforehand or deep miner before then, but he was built like he looked like he had fought a couple of times. Like he had that look of him, like that look of someone who knew what they were doing. But he was smooth talking, like I'm pretty sure if he asked Pa for my sister's hand, he would have given it up hand over foot in a second.
Can you remember which house he was in? Can you show us later?
He goes, in the house y'all's in, I believe.
He stayed in our room.
Yeah, it was real close to the stairwell, like kind of private. Yeah. Yeah, it had yeah.
All right, we'll take a look around our room and see if we see anything.
Well, I mean, if Nicodemus sent y'all, I mean, I guess, it's just weird,
That's why we're here, because of the weird things.
I mean, he leans in close. Is Codfell in trouble or something? Like,
No, not at all. This has stuff to do on the other side of the world, not here.
cause I heard tell about like rumors about some kind of strange darkness making people sick.
That only happened in one town. The rumors got out of control.
Oh, okay, yeah. Every now and then the pretty drow from the Murdoch tells me stories of what's going on the outside.
Yeah, she's sweet.
She was telling me that, that bones walking the earth again. And that there's a strange darkness in people's eyes, and they seem to lose the smarts.
Because we've heard those too.
But it's all rumor. It ain't real.
It's nothing you need to worry about up here.
Yeah. I was told Godsville was a gift from the gods, and I tell you, hearing what's going on out there, I believe that more and more.
Well, even if it somehow came here and was true, you could keep your doors locked and you'd be fine.
That's good to know. Well, you enjoy your meal. I'm gonna head on off. I got classes to deal with,
Thanks.
homework and whatnot.
The mayor's son walks off, leaving the team to finish their meal. After the meal, the team slowly makes their way down to their temporary lodgings.
So as you guys get down to your room, you are able to figure out how to get the lights on, and in the process you turn on the strange speaker and then turn it back off because it's that's not what I wanted. Shutting the door and locking it, you now have a chance to search the room. How do you want to do the search?
Top to bottom, corner to corner.
Okay.
I'll start in this corner.
I'll check this one.
I need perception checks.
30.
Also an even 30.
34.
Kalila and Faye, as you search around, you find that this place has been meticulously cleaned, like to the point of this is clearly someone has made sure that they left no traces. You see scrub marks and cleaning marks of all sorts around. Defibulous, as you look around, something catches your eye. It's small, about as thick as half of your pinky nail. It's white, and it's got a powdery substance on it.
Defibulous will kind of take a look at it, not getting too close. He's like, guys, I think I found something.
We'll take a look.
As you guys look at this little piece of white something, can I get a, do you guys want to do anything before touching it?
Sniff it.
Okay. Perception.
While she's doing that, I actually do have a number of detect blank spells.
Mm-hmm.
22.
Okay. So, Faye, you want to use one of your detect blank spells?
Yeah, like without knowing. what's going on still.
Is there a roll to it or anything?
No.
Okay. Kalila, as you sniff it, you get the sense of chalky powder and just that, like, overall funky chalk smell. Faye, as you watch Kalila sniff, you start to see that this strange item starts to sparkle and glimmer just ever so much. Not in a bad way, but in a... It's not a mundane item. That realization of this thing has power. Not evil or good power, just power.
I don't think that's normal chalk, you guys.
I wonder if it's the magic chalk. And it was Nicodemus, or he sent somebody in.
Is anybody else seeing that sparkle around it?
What sparkle?
Would you like to detect magic, Kalila?
I will detect the magic.
Right, cool. So, I'm hallucinating now. Did I accidentally drink the water at dinner?
No, you didn't. Although that's now the third new thing you've discovered about yourself.
Kalila, as you stare at this chalk, it starts to shimmer and glow just ever so much, the exact same way as the old courier's chalk did.
Yep, this is Nicodemus chalk. Also, Faye. She then pulls off, like, her ring of protection that she picked up forever ago. She goes, look at this and tell me if it glows. Think really hard about it. Think about, wonder, ask yourself, is it magical? And stare at it. Don't give me that weird look, just do it.
Alright, I'm not sure why, but okay. So I'll take the ring and take a look at it and think curious thoughts.
And it starts to slowly sparkle and glow.
Yeah, that's a really pretty glowy sparkle.
A little blue, kind of light, maybe a little like cyan. Congratulations, you can detect magic. What god did you say you worshipped?
I didn't say.
Okay, well, they blessed you, apparently. Because magic's fading from the world, and here you have now magical abilities.
Here, take the ring back.
And just put it back on her paw.
So is there anything you'd like to do with this very small piece of magic chalk?
Do you think we could, like, open a portal to talk to Nicodemus with this?
Kalila's gonna dip her claw into it and see if she can draw a little window.
It's not like, it's a piece of chalk.
Oh, it's an actual piece of chalk?
Barely a piece of chalk. Like, it is half the size of a human pinky nail.
Well, if we tried, we would waste it.
But I'm confused, though. He sent us here because he couldn't get anyone in, but he obviously got someone in.
So open a portal and scream, you lying bastard? Like, what do you want me to do?
Well, find out if it's he sent someone, or do we have someone else who can use this stuff?
That's a valid question. Also, he said he sent them a week ago. So did he send us on the Murdoch first? Because we didn't leave that long ago. And then sent somebody here?
Again, good questions that I'm sure he can answer.
I can draw a little door.
They left a week before you guys arrived. They basically said, people are coming, you should allow them to come. And then he disappeared a week before y'all showed up. So he was gone before you guys arrived.
Before we got on the Murdoch.
Right.
Okay, so that just supports Defibulous' claim that they got somebody here before and lied to us, going, we can't get anybody in here.
Yep.
Well, I can draw a little tiny door and waste our little magical chalk. Or I can save it.
I mean, I have a pouch of chalk powder. We could grind it up into that and make the entire batch magical.
Do you think it has enough magical property to transmute into a whole stick of chalk? We don't know the magical components behind this thing.
I actually have some points in spellcraft. Can I roll?
Yep, go for it.
Apparently so do I.
21.
I'm tag teaming the thinking.
All right, 21 for Faye and Kalila.
18.
Based on your limited knowledge of magic in this particular type, you do not think that grinding this up would enchant the entire chalk bag, you would actually end up weakening the spell.
It's like ratios. What do you think, Defibulus? Should we open the door and yell at him?
I think it's worth it just to for peace of mind of, do we have someone... Are the people we are dealing with ahead of us now, or is he not trusting us and sending other teams out?
Or is there a new group that's now competition going after the same items we are?
Which means I need to blast them, so yes.
What if it wasn't Nicodemus?
Well, then he needs to notify his other teams that there are others out there that may be a threat.
Or there's a rogue team? Because if it wasn't him, he'll deny it and then wonder how we got this chalk. It draws a magical door.
I don't think you can get out of this much. Maybe a window.
Yeah, like I said, something just like a peephole so you can open it up and yell through it.
And then we can yell at him to give us a way to contact him better.
Or stick my head through it.
What if it closes with your head in it?
How about if we, write a letter just in case he's not in his office? So we can leave one.
We can do both. There's always somebody in his office now that it's the Institute. So worst comes to worst, we yell at somebody, find a random scholar, yell at them to go get him, and they come back. That thing stays open for forever. Until you go through and close it again. At least that's what I've seen. I've seen them open that door and stand next to it, the magical door, for more than 5 minutes kind of idea.
I still think we ought to prepare a letter. That way he's got it handwritten to refer to afterwards.
Alright, I'll let you handwrite it. We'll wait, and then we'll draw a little door, toss it through at the same time that I stick my head through. I don't know.
What you think, Fabulous?
Probably a good idea.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Alright, let me get my letter writing stuff. Pull out my stationery.
All right, so with Faye writing out this letter, Kalila, are you going to draw a window?
Yep, I'm gonna draw a window.
Okay. Thinking back on how the spell works, you go through and meticulously write everything out. There's a moment where it almost seems like the spell doesn't work. Then there's a strange whoosh. And you are looking at the back of Nicodemus's head, who is currently yelling at someone in Ratfolk.
That's funny.
He stops mid-word and just slowly turns his head towards you. What in the what? How are you doing that?
How does it make you feel?
Well, normally these attach to walls, and this one is not. It's attached to a post.
Yeah.
Where are you? How did you do? I didn't give you any of these chalks. What's going on?
Have you sent anyone before or after us coming to Godfeld at all? Period. Any other team for any other reason to this mountain?
Well, yes, I wanted to make sure that Godsfell was a real place, and then I met some strange boy who's talked about some strange happenstance, and I was able to acquire some knowledge and send a spy up to at least make sure everything was right.
So when you said you had never gotten anybody into Godsfeld, you actually meant that you sent a single person that got into Godsfeld?
Let me rephrase that then. I never got anyone in legally. We had to pull a couple of tricks to make it fit. You know what I mean?
Like a team of black armored individuals pulled a knife on people?
Oh, they were a scouting party. I wanted to make sure that Godsfell wasn't just some random lunatic ravings. Every now and then you find those in strange books. Scholars get drunk and make things up and write them in books, and then all of a sudden it's all real and crap. I wanted to make sure that Godsfell was a real place. So I sent a team up just to scope it. Their job was not to enter, because I didn't know what kind of things would be inside. Once I found out what I was dealing with, I sent a single man in who is trained in comings and goings of dwarven cities. He was able to infiltrate, use his charm to get in with the mayor, and then once he had everything set up for you all, he disappeared. He was supposed to leave no trace. Apparently he needs to learn how to clean up after himself.
Actually, this was literally the only trace we found of him.
Well, good. That means I don't have to fire him. It just means I might have to reprimand him a few times.
And probably nobody else would have realized what this tiny little piece of chalk was.
Well,
Can I have a piece of chalk yet?
no. It's very hard to come by.
And it's very hard to get a hold of you when on the other side of the world.
Well, this is why you're the Alpha team, and you can do things the smart way. I trust and believe in you. By the way, Clyde is doing well. He is murdering many, many skeletons.
I'm so
Tell
jealous.
him to use explosives.
One at a time, one at a time.
I'm so jealous. Anyway, here's a handwritten account of things that we've uncovered so far.
I appreciate it. And what did you want, young short man?
Oh, I just tell Clyde to blow them up. Use explosives.
We've actually been doing that. A strange group of weaponsmiths named the Lily Company have been providing barrels of black powder with fuses to send down into mass hordes.
Oh yeah, they're good peoples.
They're
Yes.
apparently now our friends.
Well, it's good to have friends in exploding places. Or non-exploding places. It's hard to say. They have a weird... Well,
Have you gotten any more clues about this wind pearl thing?
let me look. No. Wait, no. Wait, no. Wait, yes. It seems as if this strange pearl is able to create cyclones in its area, making walls of sheer wind that can snap blades and rip apart shields. So, if you find it, be careful.
Where are you finding this information out at?
Well, there was a book, and that was buried inside the library. In fact, inside Faye's library. It was buried deep in the back corners, pushed underneath a bookshelf, gathering dust. I was down there, purchasing books for my own collection, and I happened to see the shimmer of metal underneath the bookshelf. I acquired the book from them, and began to read and translate it.
I will just nod and sit there and go, I thought there was something else we wanted to ask them too. I don't think it was Nicodemus. I think we needed to talk to the lady at the Paladin Order, but that can be done another day.
What about?
Oh, the lady one of the Paladin Order, not Sir Reginald.
Her second in command person.
Yeah, I think her.
The one that we hired in as part of the Institute? Or the one that's the hoity-toity, I'm going to boss people around one?
The one that Clyde used to go talk to all the time.
Ah, yes, her. What about?
Oh, well, we found out that the Murdoch's not allowed to dock there anymore, and there was a murder, then they solved it, it was a love affair thing, the captain was dead, it now has a new captain, and they would like to dock at the Holy City again, but they were banned because the captain was sleeping with a paladin, and she got mad.
Oh,
Maybe knocked up and mad. We're not sure.
Possibly knocked up and mad. Either way, we wanted to clear the slate so the Murdoch could come back.
funny thing, you've already met that paladin, actually.
What?
The one that has seen 1,000 walls in just a few moments? The one that works for the Institute.
Yes.
Her son is half-elven.
Oh.
She has lots of pull. She actually was in... Her and Reginald are, I guess, same rank? Until she was injured and at wherever. And we brought her in on our end.
Well, if you tell her what happened, that the guy she hated, prior captain of the Murdoch, is dead now, they should let the Murdoch come back.
I would love to have the Murdoch come back. I remember the first time it was here. It was such a beautiful ship. I enjoyed playing cards. I lost
Eventually, that's
a
nice. You'll
week's pay that
eventually...
way.
Nicodemus,
What?
you're talking about cards.
I had fun playing what is it called? Blackjack. Blackjack was very fun. It's a card game. I was able to cheat though, because I was able to figure out how to count the cards. Did you know there are only 4 kings in it?
Anyways, the new captain's called Baka. He's a nice guy.
Owner. He's the owner.
Owner. He's an orc.
Baka? That's a strange name. He's an orc. Strange times. Strange times. Well, I will relay the message, and I will do what I can to make sure that the Murdoch can come back. I was very sad when it happened. I wasn't young, but I was younger. Well, technically, I was always younger than I am today.
Okay, yeah, that's all I got. Can I have more chalk?
I've already told you it's hard to come by. I'm surprised you found some.
That was then. How about now?
Ask me in a week.
So, you're going to give us a piece of chalk so we can contact you in a week to getting more chalk?
Don't you have a job to do? Go on, go do your job.
Yes, the job that will take more than a week.
Exactly.
Well, when I see you again, I will make sure I give you a piece of chalk.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay. When you see me again.
Sign this piece of paper that says that. She sticks her hand through the portal.
He fills out a piece of paper that says that Nicodemus owes you 1 piece of chalk and then signs it.
Does it specify magical chalk?
It just says chalk.
No, magical chalk, not regular chalk. You're not handing me a stick of powder.
Oh, fine. Oh, he puts magic chalk.
Thanks, Faye.
Anything else, or am I able to go back? I have dinner waiting for me. A lovely soup.
Oh, I thought you were just yelling at someone.
I was. He interrupted dinner. And then you interrupted dinner. But I like you, so I decided not to yell at you.
How's the baby mimics?
They're doing well. We have figured out their meals, we have figured out their growth rate, and we've also found out that they do not stay to one type of whatever. They can change depending on what kind of environment they're around.
Well, yes, they're mimics.
Yes.
How about the one that had a taste for human flesh?
We are using him to get rid of people who have passed away by natural causes, and we don't want them coming back as skeletons. He seems to have a fascination for dead and not living. Apparently he doesn't like it when it fights. He likes to just slurp it down.
Lazy mimic.
Lazy mimic indeed. That is one effective way to get rid of bodies.
Yes.
Tyler just kind of walks off with that thought. You will soon find out what a fancy orc looks like.
I'm both happy and horrified at this come to be information.
Would you say you're scaroused?
No, I would not.
No, you should slap someone for her too.
Words in my mouth.
As the team finishes their conversation with Nicodemus, with a promise of magic chalk the next time they see him, the team now must set out and figure out their plan for what they will do with this rat nest.
So you're probably going to take a nap until stock time?
Until prime rat hunting hours. The rats are more active at night, so she'll go stalking for a little while, but...
Okay.
You know what? Faye will go ahead and assist with that, so she'll just nap too.
Yeah, everyone will.
All right, team hunt, go! Now it is.
All right. Well, as you all lay down for a nap, we will call this episode here.
Well, me friends. It seems as if the adventurers have gotten their access, but in exchange, they must do what all adventurers must do in the beginning of their careers: hunt rats. That's right, me friends, rats. Small creatures that eat garbage and your food. Well, and maybe you if you're not careful. Well, with Kalila's knowledge of hunting, Faye's knowledge of stealth, and Fibulus's knowledge of all things explosive, I am sure they'll do just fine. And that, unfortunately, is all the time we have for this eve. And as always, me friends, may the dice gods bless your every roll.
We here at What the Dice would like to thank Paizo for creating Pathfinder, Epidemic Sound for our music, as well as Sirenscape for our sound effects. If you would like to reach out to us, you can do so on Facebook at What the Dice Pod, Twitter at What the Dice Pod, and of course email whatthedicepod@gmail.com. And if you liked our little adventure, please share us with your friends and rate and review us.